Okay, class, today we're going to spend a little bit more time on a painting by the Italian female artist Artemisia Gentileschi. She was born in 1593 and died in 1653. And we are looking at a painting of hers called Judith and Her Maidservant with the Head of Holofernes. This was a subject matter that she painted repeatedly, and this particular version was painted in 1623. But let me go ahead and give you a little bit of background about her as a person and as an artist. It was pretty rare at this time for females to practice as artists or for it to be known that they were artists. Fortunately for her, her father, who was an artist himself, saw that she had talent and hired an instructor for her. Unfortunately, it was her experiences at the hands of her instructor that ultimately shaped the course of her art over her lifetime. The instructor that her father hired repeatedly raped her, and her and her father actually took this instructor to court to try and press charges against him. The court actually turned the tables on Artemisia. They performed torture on her through the use of thumb screws. So basically the thumb would be placed in like a vice grip, and then screws would be tightened to see if she was lying, but she wasn't. The instructor was sentenced to 1 year in jail. I know, really harsh punishment. And he never actually even served it. And there's some that say that the court tried to strongly encourage the two of them to marry to make it better. So you just imagine something like that happened today. Well, hopefully it wouldn't. Because of all of that, she was very interested in painting female subject matter, and particularly trials that women go through. So this scene that we are looking at is from the Old Testament book of Judith. It is considered part of the Apocrypha if you were looking at a Protestant Bible, and it is an actual book of the Catholic Bible. So I don't know if you're aware of that, but there are differences in these different versions of the Bible. So here's the story. Judith and her people were being persecuted by the Assyrians, and Judith took it upon herself to kill the general whose name was Holofernes. And the way she did it was this. She basically seduced him with alcohol. She invited him to her tent, and then after he passed out, she killed him with the help of her maidservant. So let's look a little bit closer at how this was actually painted. So we see examples of tenebrism, which shows how she was influenced by the artist Caravaggio. So if you remember in the Prezi, we just looked at one of his paintings. It's very theatrical, it's very dramatic. There's lots of shadow, there's use of chiaroscuro, and there's this single light source, which is the candle in the center of the painting. What can we tell about Judith by the way that she's portrayed? Okay. She's very masculine, but also womanly. She's looks very confident, and she's holding a sword and looks like she could finish what she started. And then you see the maidservant in the lower foreground holding the head of Holofernes. Okay, so as you can imagine, Artemisia probably understood how Judith felt and was able to parlay some of her own emotions from her personal life into this particular painting. So I hope you enjoyed this little overview, and I will see you the next time we cover one of these paintings.